Okay, tiny house, survival retreat, village. We're talking about in the earlier videos, although you may be watching them out of sequence, about converting those sheds over to living space. And one of the things to look at in that is how your family arrangement's going to work and how your retreat arrangement's going to work with the other people. And instinctively, when people want to talk about tiny houses, micro homes, they're going to start thinking, okay, well, how do we have all the same stuff in the house, in the tiny house that we had in the bigger house? And we want all the same stuff. We're going to do the bathtub, and we're going to do the kitchen, and we're going to do the toilet, and we're going to do all these things, and people start looking at compact refrigerators, like what they might think about having in a camper, and compact toilets, kind of like what you're going to have in a camper. And if you look at prices on toilets, you start figuring out real quickly that you can get into like regular ordinary house toilets at $99, regular ordinary porcelain house toilet, for cheaper than RV stuff. Okay, and that's the RV stuff. There's not as much to it as there is to the house stuff. It's because of the nature of the construction market in the United States that you're going to see all these things that are more money, and you're always going to find one particular model that's the store special cheap one. Now, when you're trying to deal with a survival retreat location, do you want to duplicate the bathroom in every single place and duplicate the full kitchen, but just kind of miniaturize everything to save money, right? Well, I gotta say no. And the reason is because our full-size stuff costs as much, whether you go expensive, the cost isn't necessarily matching the function. It's the style. This $99 toilet, you can crap in it and flush in it about the same as that $239 one down there, but the $239 one maybe has some water conservation features or something. Who knows? These showers, okay, and tubs, there's a big difference in style, but to get a good functional solid shower tub unit, okay, it's not a bank breaker just to get something that's full size, okay? It's not a bank breaker. The reason all that stuff is miniaturized and lightweight and often pretty cheaply built in RVs is they need it to be lightweight so it can go down a road. If it's something you're going to stay in long term, you got to deal with the fact, okay, you've seen trailer parks where people live in all those camper trailers long term, and you notice how they're kind of shitty. They're not built with the durability of regular house stuff, and quite often they cost more money. Now, if you're really trying to do the budget thing with these little mini survival retreats, especially if maybe you're not getting building permits for everything, okay, and we need to duplicate building permits for each single building that has a bathroom, a kitchen, and a sleeping area in it, there's a way around that, which is we do that stuff in separate buildings. And just like a large house where you're going to have more bedrooms than bathrooms, we're going to do that with these small buildings. Some of the buildings are going to have a lot of plumbing in them and a hot water heater, and they're a designated bathroom. Okay, it's just every third building will have a designated bathroom. Every so many other buildings will have a designated kitchen. When you do the designated bathroom building, you have real stuff in it. Okay, I know a lot of people like to do the thing where they scavenge it out of a camper trailer, and if you're on a super tight budget, then yeah. Otherwise, you just have communal buildings where you put in relatively decent heavy-duty stuff. It's good for morale, especially when you're living out in the otherwise primitive area. It's good for morale to have a fully plumbed building with a real bathroom, maybe 2 or 3 real showers in it, 2 or 3 real toilets. Maybe on the outside or flip side of the building, you're going to have a real washer-dryer arrangement and just have real stuff. The other thing in developing and building the community feel in a place, skip trying to put a baby fridge in every single building. Okay, if somebody wants to bring it up and do it on their own with a 12 volt and their solar power, that's great. If we're going to try and run electricity to every building so everybody can be separate and have a separate baby fridge, you're just spending more money for less stuff. You're better off having large, good, commercial duty refrigeration and kitchen stuff in the communal places, and then some stashes of freeze-dried food that doesn't require this. And then if somebody's in the location long term and they have coolers and ice boxes and they take some leftovers to the little private shed for the occasional private meal, then that's, you know, midnight snack, that's fine. I understand that if the weather's bad. But I'm actually against trying to equip every single one of those micro places with a full kitchen, full bath. I would say a single sink if we run water to it, single sink, single purpose type thing, a little wash up type thing, maybe some outhouses and toilets in a couple of them, a little deluxe version. But what we got to do is build different buildings with regular bathroom and kitchen stuff, regular full-size tub. Look at this thing, $193. We're not going to duplicate that in every building. $169 for that one. Like I said, there's always a bargain one that's hidden somewhere in there. Okay, and we do that in a separate building, and we have all that really civilized stuff in there. That's people are going to come up in RVs. Okay, they're going to have little emergency bathrooms around, but when you get people living in a place full time, you're going to want the real stuff.